Hello and welcome to the Sensual Being podcast with myself, your host, Jolene Whiting. I have been a pole dance teacher for nearly 20 years. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my favourite pastimes are connecting to my own sensuality, connecting with the world, and connecting with animals as well. In this podcast, you'll find new and inventive ways of how you see yourself, connecting yourself with others, and also how you see and view the world around you. Today, we are going to be talking about things that can really drain your energy, but we are also on the flip side going to talk about what can lift you up and what to try and introduce into your life to make you more happy, more fulfilled, and more ready for your day. Hello, sensual being, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. Our topic is something I promised in one of the recent episodes. I was going to share with you some of the ways, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some out, some of the ways that I use to try and regularly keep my vibration up, increase my frequency, keep in a good pattern of how I'm thinking, how I'm showing up, because I find that this doesn't just happen. If I just sit on a sofa and watch TV, which I haven't done in years, if I just do that, this doesn't happen. I have to actually take steps to make this happen. So I really try to prioritize my mental well-being, my health, and whatever that looks like for you. I strongly suggest that you take whatever works for you today from this episode. You'll find certain things that I say, you might think, oh yeah, I really need to do that. And other ones might just wash over you, and that's okay. And you might find that you come back and listen to this again at some other time in your life and you think, oh, I'm going to start doing that one now. Why didn't I do that before? Because these things that I do and things I don't do have built up over time. They haven't just happened overnight, but they are things that I prioritize. And I will also tell you when I go through the things that raise me up, like how often I try and do them. Because I would like to say I do all of this every day. No, it doesn't happen every day. But I'm going to start first by talking about things that can really drain your energy, really kind of leave you in a low state. And they are things that they can happen all the time and very easily. Sometimes these happen very easily. And sometimes it might happen and you don't even realize it was a big deal. But if you start altering and becoming aware of these things, then you'll start to see why I feel it's so important to try and keep our energy up, and not just like, oh, I'm going to eat well and exercise. Yeah, great. But there is so much more. So a very easy one that we all know that would deplete our energy is if we do not drink enough water. And I know some of you would be like, I don't like water, but dehydration is a massive one. And I remember learning on my PT course that if your dehydration drops by like 2%, it affects your overall workout. And I'm like, bloody hell, that's only 2%. That's not much. Blue light. Blue light is a huge one, particularly before bed. And what do I mean by blue light? And you can get blue light glasses and filters for screens, but it's basically most of the screens that we have on normal settings, they emit a blue light. And that messes with our circadian rhythm. So our rhythm that tells us when to go to sleep, when to wake up. And sometimes we can get really tired eyes and like almost blurry eyes sometimes. And this can happen a lot from blue light. So like TV right before you go to bed, using your screens, your phones, you can get blue light filters. But doing that sort of activity, that is a real energy drain. And that's an energy drain, I would say, all throughout the day as well. Just to be aware of that. But it is worse first thing in the morning and last thing at night. So if you can do something about that, great. If you don't move, If you just sit down and don't do any sort of movement, no exercise, no nothing, that creates a real stagnant energy in our body. It creates blockages within our lymph nodes. It puts our muscles in a very static position. Muscles like to be used. They like to be used. They like to stay supple. And that is so important. If we are not doing that, that's an issue. No boundaries of people, saying yes to everything is a big deal. And also, if you are someone who hangs around with a lot of negative people, that's not good. I promise you that is really not going to make you feel good. Holding on to emotions that don't serve us, like thinking about that person who did that thing a year ago and it still winds you up. You are making that choice to still think about that. So it is your choice whether you decide to move on or not. So this type of resentment, it really, oh my gosh, it drains. It drains, and it can lead on to so many issues, not only mental state, but within our physical body, because our body will manifest how we think. So if we're always thinking negatively, we will have more illness, more sickness, more fatigue. Again, big energy drain. Processed food. Yes, we know processed food. And there's different ranges of processed food, because technically, it's other things. So a jacket potato is processed food because you've cooked the potato, but it's not over processed. It's not ultra processed. So most food have all been processed, but it's realizing what is not really even looking like the potato anymore. So say crisps, they don't even look like potato anymore. They are a major low vibration energy draining food. Our body has to work so much harder to try and understand, what is this you put in my body? Oh my gosh, I've got to try and digest it. All of that will drain our energy. So be aware of what you eat. Not seeing anyone, not doing anything, not getting out of the house. That is a major energy drain. So make sure you are keeping in contact with people. Make sure you're actually saying hello to people when you go out. And this is why I love using an actual checkout in a supermarket, because I actually like to talk to the people, and I like to keep that part of humanity like actually alive, talking to people. Having a messy, untidy home. And there, oh my God, do you know what? This day and age, because there is a lot of stuff in our world now, there are so many people living in clutter, absolute clutter. I strongly recommend that you tidy. You might not want to, and if you don't want to, fine, throw a load of your stuff away. Get rid of it, make the space, and feel the difference in the energy and the cleanliness of your home as well. If you're sitting in dust and damp, that is not good for you. Not breathing fully. So shallow breathing and not taking full breaths into our lungs. I'm not saying you have to walk around going all the time, but to actually be aware of your breath, to bring your shoulders back, stand tall, actually take some deep breaths, maybe outside. Because shallow breathing will limit the oxygen coming into your body. It will limit your vitality. And that's not something we want to do. So those are some real big energy drains. And I'm sure you can probably think of more right now as well. But what I would like the main focus of this episode to be on is energy givers, things that will raise you up, things that will make you feel better. And we'll also talk about how often I try and do them, because I'm going to be real with you. Like I said, I don't do all this stuff every day. I want to. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes my motivation isn't there, and I have to work at it. And summer is sometimes easier than winter in a lot of these ways. Because the first one I want to give you is one of the best ones, despite what the media will tell you. Sunlight, the sunshine, the glorious sunshine that gives life on earth. That is what plants direct their flowers to. That's what trees grow up to. They grow to the sunlight. My dog, he is almost jet black all over, and he will go and lay out in the sun and just lay there, loving it. I have to like bring him in the middle of the day because he's like just all panty and he's got too much of it. It's like, just come on, have a break. But he's like, no, I love it, Mum. Sunlight is amazing, but respect it. Okay? Don't just think, Jolene says I can just go out in the sun all the time. Respect the sun. I personally don't use suntan lotion if I can help it. And if I do, I try and find a mineral-based one. But I try and work up my sun resilience in the morning sun. You can do it in the evening as well. But I personally love the sunshine in the morning, maybe because my middle name is Dawn and I'm living up to my name. That is when I find that I feel the most alive with the sun. But the evening sun is also very, very good and nourishing for your body. You know, there is a reason why when you're out in places like Spain, that they take siestas in the afternoon, because they ain't stupid. They respect the sun. They're not going to go out in it all day. It's us idiot holiday makers that go out in it all during the day. So if we can respect the sun more, we will get so much more nourishment from the sun. And the sun can heal so much. I remember my friend who used to have eczema, and she had it so bad at school. She was one of my friends at school, so bad. And she went to Malta when she was like 15 with her parents, and she came back and it had all gone. The sun had literally cleared it up. And I couldn't believe it. That was one of the first instances I can remember looking back, seeing physicality, the sun healing somebody, and like, oh, wow. You know, so the sun, it gets so demonized. Oh, it causes this, that, and the other. But I think we need to use our discernment when it comes to the sun. I really do. Speaking your truth, setting boundaries, actually being who you are, saying no when you need to. Now, this sort of thing needs to happen more often. This needs to happen every day. You need to set boundaries for yourself, and also other people will know where they stand with you. And I think that's fair. I mean, once upon a time, people could turn up to my classes like as soon as, like, sometimes they were there before I even got there. And they would be there like, say, 40 minutes early for class. Now, I would always be like, yeah, come on in. But whilst that could have been a lovely person, and this happened a lot, I would find that space where I'm getting the class ready and I'm giving general chit chat to someone, and then I've got to go and teach 3 hours of classes back to back right before I go to bed. That was a lot of energy that I gave to that person. And so I started setting boundaries, like you can only turn up 10 minutes before your class. I will let you into the studio when I am ready. And actually, everyone knew where they stood then. Because actually, to be honest, looking back, I think some people felt obliged to come in just because I said, yeah, you can come in. And maybe they didn't want to, but yet they probably thought, oh, Jolene said come in, I better. You know, so this works both ways. And when I look back, I can see that now. So that is something that needs to happen all the time. Moving your body. Definitely do this every day, but I don't recommend the same thing every day. You might want to do some like yoga and Pilates and some stretch, particularly if you're a woman and you're due on and you're around that time. You might want to think, I'm going to go gentle. I'm going to do some gentle, easy movement, but just move my body. And then at other times you might think, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do some pole. I'm going to do my kettlebells. You know, and you're going to do something a lot more vigorous. But it's moving your body. I suggest you do it every day. And walking is one of the best exercises you can do, because when you are walking and what you are seeing around you, you are able to mentally take it in and process it at the right speed. It's one of the only exercises that you can do, because running doesn't do that. When you ride a bike, that doesn't do it either. because you're going too fast. So walking is really one of the best exercises that you can do that links the body to the brain in such a good way. Try and do it every day. And I try and do it every day. Even if it's a gentle stretch, I will still try and do it every day. And you want things as well in your life that will calm your nervous system. So you might find that this is breath work, because taking in proper deep breaths into your body is good. There's a lot of yoga breathing as well, like different types of breath work that really help you find clarity and focus within your mind. And it's a really nice way to get the oxygen in, refocus your mind and calm yourself as well. And one of the other ways I absolutely love to calm my nervous system and really come into myself is either by humming or chanting. So humming, I've done a whole episode on humming. It's absolutely brilliant. The power of humming and your nervous system. And what it does is when you hum, the vibration that goes through your body, it actually expands the vessels. And so any nutrients and blood can actually flow easier around your body. I mean, it does not get much more amazing than that. It really, really doesn't. I would like to say that I chant every day. Sometimes I go through space where I do. You don't need anything else for it apart from your voice. Although I do like sound bowls and the shruti box, but you don't need anything else. You actually just need yourself. Even if you do like just 3 rounds of humming. So you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you hum for as long as you can. And then you do that again, and then you do it again. Even that, if you are having a bit of a meltdown or a bad time, do that. Because I promise it will actually help. But the thing is with this stuff, what people don't seem to realize is that they want to feel good, but they can't be bothered to do anything about it. We get so lethargic in our life. You were not the only one. You were really not. But to actually make time for this, or pockets of time, make it regular in your routine, in your day, to do something to actually help you, it will make a difference. The cleaner we can eating seasonal food, eating local, grow it yourself, even better. At the moment, I keep harvesting my raspberries and wild strawberries. And I swear, wild strawberries taste way better than regular strawberries. They're so, so sweet. But the more that we can not only eat seasonals, and really kind of blend in with nature, we can also feel a lot more connected to nature. Even if you don't grow your own stuff, it doesn't matter. Try and eat cleaner. And when I say cleaner, that's different for everyone. You might be someone who's like eats 100% organic raw food anyway. And it's like, okay, do you want to make it cleaner? Maybe you don't need to, or maybe you do and you think, I'm going to start growing my own food. What is it for you? And do you need to do it? If you are somebody who has like a banana in a day, but apart from that, everything else is ready meals, it's already done, you didn't make any of it, it's got loads of chemicals in it, it's all packaged food, maybe you need to think about eating cleaner. So this is where it's different for everyone, and I'm going to level with you here. This past week, couple of weeks, but this past week has been incredibly stressful, and my eating has gone to shit this past week. I've tried so hard, but it just didn't happen. But I know how important that is. And when you have pizza 3 days in a row, do you know what? You don't feel very good. You might think living the dream, pizza every day. No, it's really not good. Really, really not good. Like my tummy, I went to bed one night and it was so bloated, and I was just like, I need to do a fast. I need to try and reset my tummy by not eating for a while, doing a fast, and then that really did reset me. I think I did a 20-hour fast, and that did help. And then since then, I've been eating a lot better and my tummy has been a lot happier. Because you need to actually do this on purpose. You need to plan meals for yourself. And I'm a big fan of batch cooking. I'm a big fan of eating really simple. I'm a big fan of eating like the same thing a few days in a row. I don't really care. Like, I'm not like, oh, I've got to have something different every night. I don't care. Like, that sort of thing really doesn't bother me. I know it bothers other people, but if it does, if you're somebody who that bothers, eating the same thing for a few days in a row, one thing is you can freeze some of the batch cooking and not have it every day. But otherwise, ask yourself, why do you want something different every day? Just ask yourself, because I know variety is good in our diet, but there's also a time when we can make this so complicated for ourselves that actually just doing a bit of a batch cooking and having the same thing for a few days, it just takes the thinking out of food. And therefore, when we don't think and when we're hungry, we just eat. That's much easier than thinking, what am I going to have? Oh, I've got to cook it. Oh, I've got to buy it. And oh no, too much stress. Make it easier for yourself, particularly when it comes to food. Because I think there's so much conditioning around food that deep conditioning that I don't think we'll ever uncover in this lifetime. That makes food very hard, because there are a lot more people overweight now than there ever was before. There's a lot more diseases and sickness linked to being overweight than there ever was before. There is a lot more ultra-processed food than there ever was before. And it's so easy now just to get a load of ready meals full of chemicals and just pop them in a microwave. And that's it. That's my meal. All done. Convenient, isn't it? That word, convenient, is how they get you. If you have not gone down a rabbit hole around the conspiracy around ultra-processed food, strongly recommend that you do that. Anyway, another one that I really like to prioritize literally every day, even through winter, I do this, is grounding. Putting my bare feet on the earth. Grounding. Putting my bare hands on the tree. Actually connecting my skin to the earth, to the tree. Or a big body of water like a river, an ocean, the ocean. That also works as well. And also, if you're going for a dip in the ocean or a river, you get the cold plunge effect, and that really helps, because cold plunge is also something that I do. But admittedly, I've got like a little ice bucket that I use at home. So that is not grounding. But whilst we're talking about that, I find that really helps to take inflammation out of my body. For me, that really works. So for the ice plunge, I try and do it every day. When I'm literally about to be on, and when I am on, I generally don't do it. I go by how I feel. And I feel very strongly about doing that. Go by how you feel, particularly if you are a woman and you're going through your monthly cycle. I think all of this has to work in with it, particularly a cold plunge. But back to grounding. Grounding, I think, by me doing daily grounding for about the last 3 years, that has made me get less headaches. And I say less headaches, I hardly get any headaches now. And I used to get almost a headache a week. I also think putting my body under less and less stress and trying to do the right things for my body and my mind has helped me in total as well. Like all these things I've been talking to you about that I've been really trying hard to do, I think that's all contributed to me getting less headaches. But the grounding, the resetting my energy into the earth, that game changer, absolute game changer. If you were somebody who suffers from migraines, headaches, fogginess, the ground, the earth will help you if you let her. But you actually have to be bothered to do it. And when it gets cold, it was a bit wet, Even if I only manage it for a couple of minutes, I will still try and do that, because she helps so much with my mind, honestly. And even my eyes are clearer now. Dancing. I love dancing. Honestly, dancing is one of the most playful things you can do. We were dancing before we were walking when we were babies. Dancing, honestly, can bring you so much joy, and there is no right or wrong way. And I love that there's all these different disciplines of dancing that we can learn in our life. I mean, I am a dance teacher, so yeah, I love that. But there's nothing more freeing than just flinging your arms around to some music, clapping to music, finding the beat, tapping your foot, any of that. That is so liberating. You add in singing as well, singing your favorite songs, getting an uplifting playlist that you absolutely love. And it's unique to you, and maybe different playlists for different moods. But dancing is such child behavior, and it's what we need, because life is so serious. We need to be able to not only have a laugh and a joke, but we need to actually be able to move our body in a way that's not being judged or critiqued. And we're just moving that energy around our body. Because like with our exercise and our fitness and stuff, you will do certain moves with good technique and a good way so you don't hurt yourself, great. But when it comes to dancing, you've just got to let yourself go. You really have to. You might jump up and down, you might shake your body and just release the energy. But the music will really help move energy through your body. And do you know what? Yesterday morning and this morning, I've been dancing outside in the sunshine. Dance naked, even better. But I've been dancing around in the sunshine, and I just loved it in the morning. It's just given me so much joy. So much joy. I just can't. Oh, I can't. It's just so much joy. And I've got a couple left for you. One as well is getting good sleep. Now in the summer, this is harder because it's lighter for longer. But I personally prefer trying to get to bed light off by 10, half 10, waking up early, close to the sunrise, obviously not at the moment because the sunrise is like 4:30. But actually getting good sleep, prioritizing good sleep. And this is really hard sometimes, particularly if you've got children. You need to do what you can. And if that means that you can get a sneaky nap in during the day, do it. Don't feel guilty for it. Okay? So actually, if you need to have a nap, even if you just close your eyes for 5 minutes in the day and just have a rest, that will help you. It will help you. So don't demonize having a nap should you need it. And if you are somebody who regularly needs a nap at 4:00 in the afternoon, that's okay. A lot of people say, oh, you're eating the wrong thing, you're doing this, that, and the other. If you need a nap at 4:00 in the afternoon, when your body clock changes, that's fine. Just do that, because I promise you'll wake up and feel better. You really will. But a lot of us don't prioritize sleep, and we go to bed too late. Get your screens off an hour before bed. Longer than that if you can. So no TV, no iPad, no phone. Turn them all off. Read a book. Chill out. Talk to people in your house. Meditate. But chill out before bed. And we can always think that we need to be doing something. And just before we go to bed, we can have a lot less willpower to actually look after ourselves. So you might have to really set a bedtime alarm and maybe get a bedtime tea, whatever that means for you, but something that you're going to help to refocus you, get you ready for bedtime. Because in our lives, when there's another thing to watch on Netflix, another game to play, another doom scroll, it's very hard to let these things go and to prioritize what we actually need to feel good. So you have to really be strong with yourself there. And the last one is, we talked about it before, about dehydration. So drinking good amounts in the day. Staying away from all the processed soda-y energy drinks. I promise you, they are not good for your body. There's a reason why some of these drinks are called the things that they're called. words have meaning. And if you're drinking something called Monster, words have meaning. And I'm just going to leave that one there with words have meaning. But if you can, try and drink good water. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I don't recommend tap water straight out the tap. I don't really recommend it straight out of a Brita filter either, but at least that's a bit better. I recommend trying to get the fluoride out of water. So I either buying spring water or having an RO system put into your house. I've got a 6-stage reverse osmosis filtration system. So the tap water goes into there and it gets filtered out. So it takes out the fluoride. If I want to go one step further, then I would distill the water. But that actually takes 4 hours to do like 2 litres. So I don't do that all the time. I very rarely distill it now. But the distilling it takes out the calcium that's in the water. And you want to remineralize your water as well by putting like a little bit of I use Himalayan pink rock salt at the moment, or you can just use rock salt or sea salt, not table salt. Get rid of that. Don't use table salt. But you can remineralize your water, and you only need a tiny bit because you're not looking at having salty water. But that will really help to like reset you as well. And talking into the water, you know what I'm like. Talk into the water, reset the molecules within it, restructure the water with your voice and your thoughts and your intention, because that's so important as well. But if you are somebody who drinks all amounts of rubbish drinks and things laced with God knows what, bring it back to basics. Drink more tap water. And if you don't like tap water, I agree with you, filter it or buy spring water. Try it. And see the difference. Those are so many things that I try and do. And yes, I am somebody who, when we go to a hotel and stay over there, I will take my own water from my own filtration system at home. Because it means there's some things that really mean a lot to me, and water is one of them. It really, really is. But I hope you've taken so much from that today, because we actually in this world have to make the effort to peel ourselves away from the screens, take ourselves outside and actually do the things for ourselves that is actually really good for us. And we actually have to make conscious effort to do it, because it's very easy to be lethargic, and particularly in winter it's easy to be lethargic as well. That's worse. But we actually have to make an effort. And the more effort we can put into raising our own vibration and frequency through all this, then the happier lives that we can lead. And we'll attract more people in around us that feel the same as what we do as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. Remember, as always, to lead through your life with your heart and to live with intention. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your friends and on social media. If you have the time to rate or review this podcast, I'd be ever so grateful. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Jolene Sensual Being. The links to my YouTube and to sign up to my mailing list will be in the show notes as well. I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.